Hello, hello, and welcome back to Little State Big Voices with myself, Shahida, and my fabulous other braided friend, Tracy. I took a note from her book because it's summertime, and black girls got to get the braids.
Listen, hey y'all. And what do braids mean? Braids equal travel. Because when you get braided, it means you're getting ready to go somewhere. So, it's hand in hand at this point. You're going to see a black woman in braids at the airport.
You're going to see a lot of black women in braids at the airport. They might all be sitting together and not even know each other.
There you go. There you go. So flight attendants, please stop asking me if I'm with the other black person. I'm not with that person.
That is so funny. So anyway, well, how was your week?
My week was good. I was in the Big Apple for a little bit.
How was that?
It was good. I had some hiccups, and we could always get into that later, but I dodged a little bit of a bullet cuz I kind of went unprepared.
Yeah, that's an understatement. But I mean, you were prepared to get there.
I was hyped to get there cuz I was going to the Mothball, which is an annual event that I love. It's
hmm
a podcast and it's a radio show. It's all about storytelling, and I'm really something about the storytelling really like hits my soul. So I go to this fundraiser every year. Took the train in 3 hours from Providence. Another like wonderful thing about living in Providence is you're only 3 hours from New York on the Acela. Got to my hotel, tried to check in, and could not check in.
What you mean could not check in? You just stop the story. Like, did you learn anything from the mothball stories, ma'am?
I'm listening to their book, How to Tell a Story. So okay, so I was
Oh,
trying to
well,
give a
you
little bit
wanted
of
to give us a
a
cliffhanger?
little suspense, a
Oh,
little.
okay.
So essentially, in the process of changing handbags, I forgot my photo ID at home in Providence, and I was squarely in Manhattan trying to check into my hotel and being told no
So which
repeatedly.
was it, the wallet or just the ID?
I just like I was trying to travel light because I was like, if in case they mug me in the city, I only want to have like my main credit cards that I know I can just call. I know these, and I took out the extra credit cards, and in doing that, I removed my driver's license and
Girl,
put it on my desk.
girl. Okay. I mean, how that story, well, obviously it ended well because you said you had a good time. We saw some of the pictures, but gee, damn.
Long story short, and Cat Williams says this all the time in his stand up, you got to keep yourself some white friends. And that was never truer than last week when I went to New York, did not have my ID on me, could not check into my hotel. I was either about to be sleeping in the lobby or going back to Rhode Island, 6 hours round trip. Long story short, I called on my white king, a friend of mine, Austin, who came to rescue me. He helped me. He brought his ID, showed it to them, and I was able to check into the hotel. But I literally was in New York for 3 days with no photo identification on me whatsoever.
Wow. I mean, I'm always misplacing my wallet, but I luckily, please, knock on all the wood, that I never go out of state because I don't know, the anxiety would have just taken, I would have been, but you know what? No, I probably would. I would have been upset about it and I lost, but then at the end of the day, I probably would have just ended up doing what you did or something else because I, you just can't lose your shit when things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to.
And I was working at the same time, so I didn't have time to panic. Like if I was off that day, I probably would have been like a mess. But I
Mhm,
was so busy trying to do my work stuff, and I had like a meeting about to start. And when I
mhm.
tell you, my friend, and I joke about him, he walked from his work in New York because I was like, oh, I'll Uber you over here. He's like, I'll just walk, you know,
Mhm.
he walked like probably like 20 blocks and came and brought this ID to me.
In the heat, he
Listen,
was.
Cat Williams said it because I texted my sister friend and she was like, well,
But that was just one. That was just one.
that was just one. That was just one. I only checked in with two people. I had a list because I was
Mhm,
going to my cousin Cindy next, and
mhm.
she was in Brooklyn. I was like, I can't do that to my good cousin. So
Yeah, I would have tried to hit up people that I knew in Manhattan. But oh, my light was changing. Sorry. But yeah, oh, that's.
yeah, but all is well. The ends well. The mothball was amazing. They
Mhm.
honored Andre DeShields, who is a legend on Broadway. He's from, I believe he's from Baltimore, Maryland. And it was a good event. I met some really cool people. So,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
we have some new podcast listeners now because of that visit.
And you met a favorite of mine. Well, she was a favorite of mine when she was on Real Housewives of New York. Didn't you say
Yes.
who was
So I'm sitting at my table. First of all, when they place, you get your table number when you arrive, so you don't know who you're sitting with until you get there. I just knew I was going to sit with someone who was a prior storyteller, and so I was actually seated with two previous storytellers. One was a woman named Trisha, who was amazing. She was a model for Wilhelmina,
it? Mhm.
and she came from like a small town in the South, and she like basically rose to the heights of becoming this elite model with Wilhelmina. She was really fun and cool and so embracing. And to my left, I saw the name Carol Radziwill on the little name thingy. And I was like, oh, Radziwill, that sounds like, the connection with the Kennedys. Thought nothing of it. Did not know who this lady was. Ate dinner
Mhm.
with her, chatted with her and her friend. Had no idea this woman had been on Real Housewives of New York for 6 seasons.
Was it 6 seasons? It didn't even seem that long.
Allegedly 6 seasons. That's what I Googled because I had to Google her.
Uh huh. Oh, she
I
was good
didn't.
when she was on there. I did like her, but we knew that she was going to get the boot because she was very outspoken and she was calling them women out left and right. So, but she was one of my favorites, and that is New York. I don't watch many of the Housewives. Well, I don't watch any anymore, but New York is the one that I'm, usually consistently drawn to. I guess that's
Yeah,
because it's probably one of the originals, but yeah, she was a favorite of mine. So that's fun. That's fun. That
it
was
was fun. It was
fun.
a good event and a good cause too. So
Well, I didn't have that an exciting week last week. I mean, I'm on my diet exercise journey, so I started that this
I
week.
feel like you did have like some excitement. You did some excitement yesterday.
What? Oh, the 3 mile walk. Yeah,
That is exciting.
I did the heart walk, and I actually got a little hat as being like a heart survivor because of like the condition I had, with my heart last year. I did not have a heart attack, and I'm not technically like I didn't survive a heart attack or anything like that, but I did have like some heart issues. And I did the 3 mile walk, which is really nothing. It's something. I don't know
That
why.
is a lot. That
I
is a lot. 3 miles is a lot.
but I have been doing that. That was my third time this week doing a 3 mile walk. Like I had started on Monday doing it at like 7 in the morning and trying to finish up by like, 8:30. No, by 8:30 so I have time to go to work. So I've been doing it a couple of times. So what I'm trying to do is walk at least 2 hours a day and hopefully get to 3 to 5 hours out of that.
You need to
So
pat yourself on the back. That's
yeah,
amazing.
I know. And I think the big amazing part for me is changing my eating habits because if you know me, I am a cake and cookie chick, and it is the summertime, and all I see is desserts and ice cream, and that's all I want. And I have really tampered down on the cravings like a lot. So I'm proud of that. So but yeah, that's about all I did this week. So I'm really going gung ho trying to lose these 15 pounds.
You can do it.
I think so. I think this is the first time and I say to people now I totally understand like from my teens all the way to like about 25, I was like 99 pounds to 120. I didn't get to 120 until I turned 30. So I've never dieted. I've
Hmm.
always eaten anything I wanted, a whole pizza, just never had to worry about food. But then as I hit 50, uh, life changed and it just became a whole different thing. And so now I have to teach myself a whole different way of how to eat so is that I'm not gaining all this weight. And I'm not gaining a whole lot, but it's enough where I don't like it and I don't feel comfortable with it. So
Yeah.
that's the point. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now is the time. The weather's beautiful. The sun is up to like a beautiful time. I think the sun's going down at what, like 7:45, 8 o'clock now. This is a
Mhm.
great time. We're getting so much daylight. It's a good time to be outdoors and doing things, especially in Rhode Island. There's a lot to do.
And I got rid of my gym membership specifically for that reason. Because if you can't get out and enjoy some of these, I mean, Rhode Island has so many bike paths. It's insane. I don't have a bike. But so many bike paths that you could bike or walk and just outdoor activities to get yourself outside and motivated. I mean, so I don't want to be stuck in a gym. So that was part
Hmm.
of the reason why I
Another fun thing to do is like swimming. So like whether
yeah.
you go to a pool, and
Mhm.
this is what's so messed up. There's a community pool for free across the street from my home. Do have I been in it? If I free.
All right, girl. That okay, that's worse than I thought.
I don't know when it opens. I got to see when it opens.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's free. There's a free pool across the street from my house.
Hmm. Well, we might have to partake in some of that, and when it
We
gets
may
really,
have to
really
dip our
hot.
toes.
Is that but my phone keeps hitting. I thought I had myself on do not disturb. I'm sorry. Can you hear it?
I can hear a little doop.
Yeah. Why is it doing that anyway? But oh, also I'm trying to turn it. Do not disturb is off. No, I want it on. Sorry. Okay. But other than the walk, we did a Friday night event.
Yes, we did. That was bomb. It really was.
We went to Lisa Costa's Comedy Feud at what was it called? Fete Lounge?
Fat
Fate?
music hall.
I had never been. Had you been there before?
No, but I had heard of
Okay.
it and I just hadn't been over there.
Love the space. Love the
It
space.
is a
Right.
fun space. I didn't even go
Mhm.
into that side room. There's like a whole situation. Wasn't there like another room
Oh, I don't know. I don't
behind
know.
that like curtain past the bar? But let me start by saying, so what impressed me the most was the outdoor patio space that they have.
The
That
outdoor
was really cool, and I was not expecting that at all.
space. And I don't know. Did we get the name of the person who did the food? Because damn.
Yes, she's a singer and she's a caterer, and I will make sure to acknowledge her when we do our post for this week. I cannot remember the specific information, but she had a beautiful pink business card.
Yeah, she had so the comedy night. Well, it was supposed to start at 8. It was a little late, but so in the meantime, they were selling plates. She was selling plates, and it was cabbage, which I was just like, cabbage.
It
Why would
was so
cabbage?
good.
It was delicious. She had cabbage, she had rice, and fried chicken and buffalo wings. So I
Mhm.
had a combination of both of them. Very, very good. I was like, she did a good job.
She did. She put her foot in it, and she
Hmm.
had hot sauce. She brought her own hot sauce.
She did. I had some in my bag. No, I did not. No,
Okay, Hillary.
it was a good night. Lisa they all put on like a great show. There was some like really great comedians, and you know, Tracy will definitely like kind of put their names in the link because we need to start following them because I
And
have
I'll tag them for sure.
definitely had a couple of favorites out there, but they were all excellent.
And it
Um,
was comedy feud, like it was family feud style. So I think
mhm.
that's the thing that made it different. It was a little bit because I we go to comedy shows all the time. I love a good comedy show, but comedy feud, imagine a panel, what was it, five on each side? Was it
Yep.
five?
Mhm.
Five comics on each side. So 10 comics plus a comedic hostess, and they had raffles too. So it was just really cool. And then each comic basically, they would go up the same way they would on Family Feud, and they had a number of questions. I think my favorite one was, what would a black mama slap you for? Was that the question?
Yeah, yeah, that was one of the questions. But can we talk
So
about? Go ahead, go ahead.
no, I was just saying I loved the questions. They were fun, and then it was just interesting. I'd love to attend another one.
I like that. The only thing I did not enjoy about the evening was the fact that Tracy won another raffle. I have not won one goddamn raffle at any event that we've been to, and everyone she always wins something.
I don't. I'm on a streak. I don't know what to say. I actually went on a scratch ticket the other day too.
If I could hang up this call, I would. I would. Goddamn. But you know
And
what?
I sure enough already spent my gift card too, girl. I was at the mall this morning.
What? That is, I don't blame you because I would have to. I mean, that's crazy. But so yeah, so that was a good event, and we were really excited about that. But we have like a whole lot of other events coming up because it is
Mhm.
summertime. And what I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about, I brought this up to Tracy, is like it's summer, and I've been listening to quite a few people talk about the crime in Rhode Island, specifically Providence.
Yeah.
And I know when you live in a place, you think, oh my God, when you hear about crimes on the news, that it's probably the worst. But I'm just here to say, calm down just a little bit because it is not the worst. And I know that we are the smallest state. And then to look at, bigger states and say, well, you really can't compare because we're so small, but we're actually safer than I think a lot of the media makes us believe. And even in the bigger cities like New York and Los Angeles, you're actually a little bit safer in those cities than you are in a lot of other cities that you would not even think. So I'm going to ask Tracy what she thinks the five most violent cities in the United States are.
Five most violent cities in the United States. Okay.
Mhm.
Not these are not in any particular order.
No, you're not in any particular order. What you
Okay.
would think would be the five most.
I'm gonna go with New York City, Washington, D.C., which is not really a city, but you know, Miami. Let's see, I need two more. Los Angeles, and what would be the fifth one? Maybe somewhere in the Midwest. Detroit?
You got one of those right.
Only one?
Out of the five, you got one
Really?
right that are in the top five of the most dangerous cities in America.
What are the top five?
Memphis, Tennessee is number one. I should have
Okay.
started at five. St. Louis, Missouri, number two.
Okay.
Detroit, Michigan, number three. Birmingham, Alabama, number four. In Little Rock, Arkansas, number five.
Really?
Hmm. Those
Huh.
are
Okay. In New York, not even cracking the top five.
it's the six is New Orleans, seven is Cleveland, eight is Kansas City, nine is Myrtle Beach, which shocked me, and 10 was Denver.
Okay, let me stay over here in the Northeast where I'm at then. Because
Right. And as for like crime overall, and as far as states go, we're not even in there. It's New Mexico, which surprised me, is number one.
Okay. Yeah, I could.
Yeah, I
mm,
mean, maybe I just don't think about New Mexico
I've been
really.
there.
Mhm.
Didn't seem crime-ish to me, but
She said Crayfish. Arkansas, Louisiana, Colorado. Number 5 is California. Six
yeah, I
is
figured
Tennessee
California.
would be in there, yeah. 6 is Tennessee, 7 is Missouri, 8 is South Carolina, 9 is Nevada, and number 10, Alaska.
Okay. I don't know where they get these stats from, but somewhere they're
Based
pulling data from.
on the crimes. Now, like Rhode Island is marked as number 3 in the 10 safest states to live in
I can
after
believe it.
New Hampshire and Maine. So Maine is number 1. No, New Hampshire's number 1, then Maine.
Interesting.
So yeah. So I thought that
Not
was
Vermont.
Vermont is definitely in there, but it wasn't in the top 3.
Okay.
So I only went with the top 3 only because I saw Rhode Island was number 3, and I was just like, let's stop it there.
I mean, I feel pretty safe here. And that was one of the things when we were looking at real estate and looking at moving and buying the house. I said, let me compare. I don't know what motivated me to do that because I never looked at the stats when I was living in Boston or Massachusetts to see what those were. But I said, let me see what the school situation is like. Let me
Mhm.
see what
That's
you know,
smart.
the crime rates are like. And I was also concerned about insurance, like car
Mhm.
insurance, house, homeowners, blah, blah, blah. So I was more shocked to learn that I expected like gun violence type stuff, and that wasn't actually kind of low, but the sexual assault rates were a little high, especially compared to Massachusetts. They were higher.
It was higher than Mass?
I believe so. I think that's what was shocking to me was the rate, and I don't remember those numbers exactly back then.
Mhm.
And it could be the concentration. I don't know. It could be more victims reported here. I don't know what the reasoning is for that. If there are more violent offenders here, or if more people just report it here.
That's really shocking. But when you brought that to my attention, I went on the Providence Police website to find out like what the crimes and stuff were, and I was extremely shocked to see that sexual offenses and a sexual assault led in just about everything except for aggravated assault. So from January 1st to June 2nd, there have already been 52 sex offensive crimes. And so
That's
to go
way.
from sexual offense to violent sexual offense, they kind of put them all together. So
I
which is
mean, one is too many, but 53,
yeah, over in homicides 3.
which
Uh
is it's sad, but that's a good number
it is a good number
considering
for 6 months into the
for
year
for a major city, for a
for a
major
major
city.
city. Robberies 26, robbery with
I'm
5.
surprised that's not higher, but continue.
I was surprised. I mean, yeah, I thought it would be higher too. Robbery with a firearm is 24. That's too high. Aggravated assault 148. Aggravated assault with a firearm is 25. So it's not. The thing is that in the summertime we do know that you hear a kind of like a uptick and
Yes,
in crime. People are outside. I heard a horrible story about some like 12-year-old kids in East Providence, fighting, but it's not as bad as the media. Well, it's not even so much the media. I think you hear about these things on your local news and they have to be reported. You need to know. These are things that
right.
you need to know, but you don't need to blow them out of proportion, and you don't need to think that these major cities, when you look at that list of major states and major cities, those are predominantly red states led by Republican governors, not blue states where they have more of the population and more and bigger cities. You would think, because we're always told that blue states have the highest crime, and that has not been the case in over like, oh, I don't know, 50 years.
And I
It
feel
still
like
has to be.
financially, a lot of those places sound like struggle cities and states.
They
No
do.
shade to any of you who are living out there.
Mhm.
Love my Tennessee folks. But when we think of those places, we don't think of abundance. So, and we could be wrong,
No,
but,
they don't. Southern states do not have abundance. That's the
or
thing. Is
not like
on
a
me.
good, not a good, dis, you know, distribution of abundance. Let's put it like that. Every state has some abundant sections,
Mhm,
but the distribution of it is not
mhm.
equitable.
And the poverty is on a different level than it is
It
here.
is. The food
It is.
deserts are so real. And I think that's something we take for granted being from up here. It's hard to, and even when they say, like, oh, these families, people are going hungry, I'm like, ramen noodles used to be $4 for $1. You might not be nourished, but you shouldn't be hungry. But if you live in a state where your closest grocery store is miles from you and
Yeah.
you don't have that, or city or town or something, those are the food deserts are some of the things that I've learned about over the years. And that happened a lot during Katrina too, is there were food deserts and people couldn't even get food and groceries in New Orleans.
Yeah, and New Orleans has always been, I want to say in the last 20, 30 years, always been in the top 10 for violent crimes. And it used to be the most dangerous city for a woman. And I'd have to go back and look at
Mm.
like rape assaults. I mean, it was number one for a very long time. And you have like Mardi Gras, you have a lot of drinking, you have a lot
But
of
do you think
bars,
that's the them, or do you think that's people coming in and
no,
doing this?
I think it's them. I think it is the state because it's not like you say, "Oh, Mardi Gras in February. This is when we have a big spike
Yeah.
in rape assaults." It's over the year.
Mm.
You know, I could not begin to assess. I'm not a criminologist or anything. Why that is, but they have led in sexual assaults for many many years. So
Mm.
in compared to the other southern state, which is kind of wild. So it doesn't surprise me at all about New Orleans being on there.
Wow. Yeah,
And
I mean, I generally feel safe here. I
mhm,
walk outside all the time. Not that I'm walking up and down the streets like in the middle of the night, but if I had to walk in my neighborhood at night, I wouldn't feel unsafe, although anything can happen at any given time.
yeah,
Anywhere. You could be in the nicest suburb that there is,
mhm,
and the girl next door shot her parents in the car, which we have seen this happen last week in Massachusetts.
yeah, that was hard. I'm not walking in my neighborhood at night ever, and it's got to be a
You
serious.
afraid the rabbits are gonna come get you, or the
It's I
coyotes?
got coyotes. I got a fox. I
It's
have some
dark over
raccoons.
there too.
It's raccoons, and I am deathly afraid of raccoons. And I got a nasty possum. I don't know how many. I just see one, but that's.
Ew.
But as far as like violent crime, and I feel like you read the police blogs that come out, or the police log that comes out sometime in the little North Providence paper, and I'm like stunned sometimes when I see some of the things. There have been a couple of shootings, that domestic violence, where somebody has shot a partner, and that's just this year, 2024, and I think it's happened
Mm.
twice here in North Providence. So a lot of the crimes that I do see do seem to be more like domestic violence, or you know um the person related to another person. It's not just strangers walking up and be a fight or a beef or anything that way. And usually it's pretty quiet after a certain time.
Yeah.
But I'm like I've gotten better, because for years I was just like door open.
Okay, so I'm so glad you said door open, right? Okay, so here's my thing, because I
Or
know you
door
said,
unlocked. Let's like
so
say that
so
way.
how we got to talking about this is you were mentioning that you were talking with people who were saying, "Oh, I don't go to said gas station, or I don't go to this section of town, blah blah blah," because they're so shook. And when you mentioned the gas station, I was like, "Oh yeah, I go there, and I don't have
Hmm.
a problem." But I mean,
It's down the street from the state house. It's not, go ahead.
But when you say your door used to be unlocked, so when I moved, first of all, I'm from Roxbury, okay? I'm from the South End, and I'm from Roxbury, Massachusetts. We don't leave our car doors unlocked. We don't leave our home unlocked. We don't leave our windows unlocked. It's not a thing that we do. So when I moved out here, I like my neighborhood app, because you download the app, you're a
Mhm.
homeowner now, you want to know what's happening in the neighborhood, who's stealing the packages. And then so all this stuff would come up. Oh, they broke into my car. They broke into my car. So I started reading these things. I'm like, is it breaking into your car if you didn't lock your car?
Yeah, because it's your car. It's not their car. If
I
you
understand that. I
then
understand that.
your door, it's breaking in if you
But
open the
why are you giving them the tools and the resources to rob your ass? And people were leaving their handbags in their cars, their wallets. Are y'all crazy?
I can I say in my defense,
Please,
and I'm
please
from Boston,
represent yourself. And you're from Mattapan. Go ahead, continue.
Mattapan, and my auntie lived in Mission Hill. Remember Mission Hill? Not Mission Hill
Yes,
projects, but Mission Hill, the little townhouses over there.
yes.
Lived over there. I don't care what time of the day it was. Whenever I went to my auntie's house, I walked right in. Somebody may be home, somebody might not be home, but the door was always open. I never had a key, just always go in. At my house, at my parents' house, where I live with my parents, had a key, always locked, whatever. But somehow, when my kids were little, it was just like I just left the door unlocked. They
And I love that
they
for Rhode Island. I
for
love that
years.
I love that used to be a thing and it still continues to be a thing. I love it for y'all. It will listen, I will lock my own kids out the house. If you've been outside too long and you left my door unlocked, God save you and hope you have your key on you. Because listen, bro, don't leave my door unlocked. It's a fight. Me and you gonna have an argument because I just can't. So first of all, here's my big paranoia is that I have like my back door. If you can access my back door, you can access my basement because I took the door off the
Hmm.
basement because I was tired of opening and closing it to go do laundry. So I
Hmm.
removed that door off the hinges. So if anybody just walks in off the street, they can either go up to try to get to my unit or they could go down to my basement and be living in there. No, no.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You ever see that thing where it was
People
on?
are living in people's house. No,
Yes,
girl.
and they in their crawl spaces, and I have like crazy. I could live in my crawl space if I wanted. I can do a little bedroom in there, but it's crazy.
And these Rhode Island people are different. There was some
And I
people
think it's
living
just
in the
light.
mall. They
No,
were living in the mall. Did you see those people that were living in the
oh
mall?
yeah, aren't they doing a special or something on that?
Yes, I'm like, now and race often comes up on our podcast. I'm telling you right now, if those were black people, they would have been in there for 2 days, and they would have had them out of there.
How are they living the? I got obviously I got to see the documentary, but how are
I
they
gotta
living
see it too. I don't understand. It was years,
years?
years.
Oh, I can't wait to see that because I don't understand that either. Like, no, I don't understand. Not years. I thought maybe a summer, a couple of
No,
months.
I want to say it was years. Don't give me the lying. That's the information I had. That's that when I when I read it or heard about it, I swore they said some years. But I'll get the information about it. But long story short, there were people living inside the Providence Place Mall. When I say living, not in apartments, they found sections of the mall that were unoccupied and they set up homes and squatted in the mall.
Well, I ain't even mad at them because it wasn't my home. It was the mall.
I am not mad at it either because I like to know what went on, but I also feel like I want to know what happened. I feel like there's too much leniency here. Because not only did y'all do it, which is illegal because you trespassed, but
Right.
now you're getting financial gains off of it now
How do
too.
they get financial? Oh, what? Because of the
The
documentary?
documentary, I'm sure they provided their story. How else would?
but that's to me, and I get what you're saying, but that's to me, not every person that commits a crime, but a sensational crime, they benefit from it. We look
Yeah.
at the woman in New York who was out there. Wait, she was like she claimed she was like a German princess, and they had the
Oh,
documentary on her.
my Queen Anna Delvey, the audacity.
See what I'm saying? As crooked as she
But
was,
she's in jail.
no,
Understand? That's the
she's out.
difference. Well,
She's
she's out now,
now.
but she spent time in jail. Did these?
How
I
much?
guarantee you, these squatters did not spend any jail time.
I'm gonna have to look at that. But I
I
just
need
want to
more
clear up
information.
one thing before we move on. I lock my doors now, and I
Don't
lock
go to Shahida's house jiggling the handle.
it's locked because once I started living by myself, when my kids, fled and did their thing, I didn't know they were coming back. But anyway, once they left, I'm like, I'm here by myself. There's no reason to keep the door unlocked, whatever. And then I always, at a certain time in the evening, locked the door. I never like slept in my house and didn't have the door unlocked.
The
But
minute I close
today,
the door behind me,
here,
clack clack, both doors, both locks, clack clack. Don't even try. It's not happening. And my husband is not having it either because he owns a machete,
oh, damn,
and also we have other resources to get rid of intruders. So I'm just saying,
yeah. Oh no,
come
don't
pull up
come
if you
here
feel
either.
like it. And we
So
got
over
the
here.
ring camera, so everything's gonna be recorded. So pull up if
Fully
you want to.
licensed in this house. Fully licensed.
Elijah just got he just got licensed, and my daughter too. She actually called my husband and was like talking about what kind of firearm she wants to get.
And you know how I feel about firearms. I'm not a fan
I don't like him
at all.
either.
And I just feel like, a person shouldn't have a freaking AK-57 or anything like any type of serious assault weapon.
Right, an assault rifle
That's
type
that's
thing.
insane. But, you have something, to protect yourself
You
for.
got to be prepared.
Have training and you get consistent training and have some friggin' mental health mental
That
health
part.
training as
Let there be some checks and
somebody
balances before they hand this stuff out.
when you hear about people owning like 150 guns in their house, that to me is a break. That's a break.
Exactly.
That's a break in their mental assessment in life. That's a break. 150 and guns are not cheap.
I think it should be a max of two per person. I think that's fair
Yeah. Mhm. I agree. I
in
didn't
the
even think
household.
about
Two
it that
adults,
yeah.
like two per adult in a household. And I will say, like honestly, when God blesses us with grandchildren, and I cannot wait, I think that that would be the day that all the stuff gets cleaned out, and I'm like, we'll just get a dog, like an attack dog or something like that.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, you wait till you have some grandkids. They're gonna be so lovely. I
I
love it.
can't wait. Can't wait.
Grandparenthood is the best hood. But okay, so back to the crime. So we've kind of like broke down the statistics and the facts about crime, not just here, but in major cities, which we see that close to us don't really have those big issues. So feel free to enjoy a good Providence, Rhode Island summer because we have so many things coming up. But one of the things that Providence has that, no, not Providence, Rhode Island has that not many other states do that I hope we hold on to is the drive-in.
Yes. I've never been to one, right?
No, get out. Yeah, when I first moved here and my kids were younger, we used to go pretty regularly. And I was just looking at because I said, I'll take, my grandson and a couple of his friends or whatever. And they got Bad Boys, the new one coming out. Not a huge fan, but whatever, I'll go. So we usually go to the Rustic Tri
Mhm.
Theater, and they have like three screens. It could be a little bit better. I'm hoping that they fix it up a little bit more. Make it, I don't know, I feel like you could really I don't know, make it more exciting, or at least, create a better sound. I know we're all, it's all kind of like hooked up to your car radio, your phone
Hmm.
stuff now, so it's not as great as it used to be when they used to have like the big thing that sits inside
Yeah,
the car. And it, usually most people go there and they're like pre-gaming. They got their little grills and stuff, their little hibachi grills,
that
and
sounds like so much
it,
fun.
it is fun, and I would hate to see it go. I've never been to the what's it called? The Miss Quamiquet. It's in
Hmm.
Westerly. I've never been to theirs, but I was looking and I was like, you know what? I think I might do it. But they have like older movies. They don't play like the current movies like
Okay, that
us.
sounds like fun too, though.
Yeah, yeah,
especially when you want to be outside in the summertime, that's nice, and you just want to get out and do something a little bit different. So,
yeah. And it actually is great for Autumn as well. She likes to drive in because I could never take her to a theater yet. It's just
hmm.
too much stimulation. But the drive-in, she actually did seem to enjoy. So that's like one of those events that
Oh,
I'm really excited about doing this summer. I don't know if I'll do it this weekend, but I'm thinking about taking my grandson and some of his
well,
friends.
this weekend's gonna be jam-packed with
Oh,
activities,
I
so.
I know, I know. What is coming up?
So we've got Pride coming up in Providence this week. It's going to be on the 15th. So it's June 15th. And then also the Juneteenth celebration is going to be taking place. And that is also on the 15th.
The Juneteenth celebration in Boston.
The one in Boston,
Yeah,
yes. And the
so
one
our
in
Juneteenth
Providence,
is in the 22nd.
the 22nd.
22nd. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to the one in Boston. You know what? I can't 100% say no. I did say I was going to try and do the Pride because I had never gone before, so I might try and do that this weekend. But that sounds interesting.
Yeah, so I liked Juneteenth. I actually enjoyed the Juneteenth in Providence more than I did the one in Boston, but I haven't been to the one in Boston in a while.
Hmm.
So what I like about it is I love the vendor options that they have,
Hmm.
and Stokely from Mint Condition is going to be at Juneteenth in Providence this year.
Stokely. Why is
He's
that?
the lead singer of Mint Condition. They
Oh, okay.
sing Pretty
I'm like, okay.
Brown Eyes, You're Breaking My Heart.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
let's give a
performing.
big shout out to Helen Dukes for that because that is her, pet project, and she's been bringing that, for the last couple of years. And my goodness, I have not talked to her in a good while. But yeah, it would be interesting to go and see her on the 22nd. But yeah, that's Helen Dukes, and she has been, putting this all together for us for the last couple of years because it's only been a holiday in Rhode Island, what, the last 2 years?
It's been what, 4 or
Years.
5 years?
It's been
Four or
that long?
five.
Was it before COVID? I feel like it was after. Well, you know what? It could have been statewide, but my job didn't start, I think, until like 2, 3 years
So
ago.
I remember the first year that Juneteenth was a holiday. No one at my company got the memo until that day, and then they just sent an email out and was like, "Yeah, we're not working today." And then that was like the fledgling days of Juneteenth. Not that they didn't respect it, and then going forward after that,
Uh-huh.
we at that company they would do like some kind of related activity, so we would do like a black art exhibition, like the whole company would go and do, or we would do like some other kind of volunteer event or something in the community. So I do kind of miss doing that, but now we actually get the day off, so I think it was like a holiday, but it wasn't made to be a like you weren't obligated to observe it at one time,
Yeah,
but now it
yeah.
is that
Hmm.
way. And so what's also coming up, because Juneteenth itself is actually on June 19th, which is a Wednesday, there's a whole JuneteenthRI.com website where you can
Hmm.
go on and see all these great activities. So there's actually a film screening that's going to be happening that day. And then as well, there's Taste of Juneteenth. I'm off. So I'm like, they have me at food. It's from 12 to 4 and it's free. You just have to register for it. It's going to be at Farm Fresh. So I'm interested to check out Taste of Juneteenth and find out what it's about. I almost get the feeling when you get there, you probably will have to pay for food, but
Yeah.
your food of choice. But that's fine. I like the fact that they're doing something. And I'm not, it's a Wednesday. I actually love a Wednesday holiday. That's kind of sexy. We don't have many of those unless you have like a Veterans Days fall on a Wednesday or something like that. We don't have very many Wednesday
No,
opportunities to have a day off.
no, that is very true. Yeah, no. I will take any day. Yeah.
And not to mention, so if you work for a corporation and they have their holiday schedules, so usually you get like January, you get what?
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day, and you get, what is it? MLK, right? You get
MLK
MLK.
Day. On the
February, you get presidents,
President's
right?
Day.
March, we usually don't get a holiday unless you're in Massachusetts and you get St. Patrick's / evacuation
Yep,
day, which
yep.
is a loophole. Love that for me in Massachusetts. Don't get it here in Rhode Island.
So you get another day in August that makes up
What what day?
Victory Day in August
We get that here?
in Rhode Island. Yep, in
See, I
August.
don't get that because that's not a national. It's not a national
Oh,
holiday
okay,
with
yeah,
my work.
yeah.
But when I was so then in April. So my bottom line is, you get a holiday in April, you get another one in May. We'd have a little drought there in June, and
Hmm.
then July you'd get the 4th, and then August you wouldn't have anything. So I love that we have a June holiday that they can't do anything about. They got to give us that day off.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take it anyway. And speaking of Juneteenth, because and one of the questions was on the comedy feud was in this sentence with black blank, and nobody could they it was I was thrown off by the answers too, but the number one answer I kept saying black excellence. How you got to go with black excellence. So speaking of black excellence,
Mm-hmm.
Simone Biles,
Yes.
did you watch her last week?
I did not, but you just said Simone Biles, and I was like, yes. Anything you
It
say
don't
about
matter.
her,
It don't matter.
amazing. Yes.
But she had her record extended ninth all around national title last week,
Good for her.
and she's 27, which is
That's
unheard
amazing.
of for a gymnast. So she's still killing it. Definitely going to the Olympics. And then also we got to shout out our Celtics because you know
Gangrene.
that's to this will be airing tomorrow, but tonight,
Yes, tonight.
two, game two, game one was phenomenal. They just
Yes.
need to keep playing like I do not like Dallas because I do not like Mark Cuban and just please one thing
And
I
don't forget, our coach is from where? Where's our coach from? Where is the Boston Celtics coach from? Where is Joe Mazzulla from?
where's he from?
Rhode Island.
It's girl, no, that went over my head. I did not realize that.
Go Joe.
Where did
Go
he
Joe.
where did
Go
he
Joe.
before, Do you know where he coached before?
I do not.
Oh, and
Look,
I didn't know that I think I remember when they
I
did
don't
hire
know if
him
he
that
was in
he
the
was
NBA. I don't know if he was an NBA coach before that. I'll
or
have
he
to
was a
Google it.
college coach or
I
something.
think he had some. And he just has like this demeanor about him. He's almost like, and I
And he
hate to
met his
compare
wife,
him.
right?
What's up?
His wife
I don't know.
for Valentine's Day last year. Didn't you go to an event that his wife?
No, that was Gerard Mayo. He's the coach of
Oh,
the
okay.
Patriots. That was this year.
Oh my God.
And Gerard Mayo's wife. Shout out to Chantel Mayo, a
Black
queen.
excellence.
But
Oh,
no, I don't
okay.
know who. I don't even know if Joe Mazzulla is married. But he just has that face. He almost, and I hate to compare him to Belichick, but it's almost like that no emotion coaching. Like he just has, there's nothing there. Whether they win or lose, he's just like, even like he's
Flat face the entire
just, yeah. But I'm so excited for a young black coach to be out here. And Kyrie Irving, he talked a lot of trash about us. He used to be on the Celtics. He didn't have a great run here, and I understand that. But I mean, I may the best team win, and it will be the Celtics. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I'm like that's all. Yeah, I can't
And even people who don't like our franchise, people who don't like the Celtics, don't like New England sports, cannot argue with our record. Like, we have the best record in the league for the last year, and we just are doing an amazing job. And so when they were playing Indiana, it's funny because when they were playing the Pacers, my mom was calling and talking smack to my uncle, and my uncle's like, "Yeah, I don't follow the NBA anymore." We're like,
There
"Sir,
you go.
Sir, please. You're first of all, you live in the Hoosier state, and both of your daughters played basketball throughout high school. You all of a sudden you don't watch the NBA no more.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm. Yeah,
I love
that's
my uncle.
that's
I think it just hurt too much.
yeah, it did. It did. And I am like I one of the things I'm one of those um Celtics fans I've been since I was younger or whatever, but I did not like, believe it or not, the Bird era. Bird, phenomenal player, not taking anything away from him or the Celtics in that time, but my team was the Philadelphia 76ers. Dr. J and Daryl Dawkins were my players. Sorry.
Okay. See, I was like Parrish, Bird, Mikhail, like
Good
those were
play.
my
You cannot
people.
mess with that team. That was a
Look
team.
at do you see who's on my shirt? Do you see Bird,
Bird,
Mikhail,
Bill, it's
Parrish,
I did
and
not.
Red Auerbach? And the shirt says Green Line at the bottom.
That is funny. No, I didn't even notice that. I got on Stephen King's It shirt. Girl,
Well, you saw that card too. That was another highlight of your last week.
that car was crazy. And that was, where was I at? I was at the doctor's office when I was at the doctor's office and I saw that
So
car. And I'm like,
Shahida saw a card that was wrapped with a whole Stephen King situation
it had
around it.
it on, no, at the bottom of it, it says you will float too. Like
Yes.
from it,
Creepy.
balloon. It had it had Pennywise the clown on the hood. And I'm not one to take pictures of people's personal property. I made sure I didn't show like the license plates, but he was from Massachusetts. That car was from
Did
Massachusetts.
you get to see the owner?
No, I didn't. I waited for, a couple of minutes or whatever, but I don't know when they went in. But so it wasn't Massachusetts license plate, so I don't know where they live, but I could not believe that car. I thought and I am
That
a
was cool.
Stephen
When you
King
showed it, when you
fan.
posted that, I was like, "This is fire! I love it." The most famous car I've ever seen out in public or interesting, which is sad, was the freaking General Lee at the drive-through in McDonald's. And because I was a huge
Somebody else's car or the actual General Lee?
no, somebody else had their
Oh,
car
okay.
done like the General Lee. So it was I don't think it was the General Lee,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
because I was brainwashed as a child in the 80s, I loved the Dukes of Hazzard. So when I saw that car at McDonald's drive-through, I was so excited and took a picture of it, but now I know better. So
I know. We didn't know. We thought they were just good old boys meant the nice thing.
yeah.
We didn't
Did
know
you
good old
know
boys
that boss
meant mean. Huh?
did you know that the actor who played Boss Hogg was actually supposedly he's black. He's got black
Oh,
descent.
I think I read some years ago that he was of mixed race, or there
Yeah,
was
mixed race
a
descent.
scandal, or whatever,
Interesting.
which does not surprise me at all. But it is what it is. So anyway, so the game is about to start in
The
30.
game is about to start, so you know where to find us at Little State Big Voices on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok while it lasts, and definitely on YouTube. We want to see your comments. And one last shout out to our braider, Miss Yana, who just
She
took
hooked us
10
both
years
up.
off of us with these braids. I feel like a young woman. A guy told me he thought I was 38 the other day. So
I I was I'm in that in between stage. My pixie that I cut really short in January started to grow out, and I didn't know what I'm not that person that can like figure out things that have those fingers. People have those fingers that can just no matter what it is, they can look at a picture and do their hair. I'm not
Yeah.
that chick. So I will be braided up next
For
few.
the duration. If you need Yana's information, let us know. Just don't drive the prices up. That's all I'm gonna say.
But until next time,
Until
enjoy
then,
wonderful week here in Rhode Island. Let us know, drop us a line, tell us what you're doing, and offer up any other suggestions of things that we could be enjoying as well. Because again, I'm gonna try and do some of these bike trails this summer because I'm gonna get fit before the
exactly.
fit. So
Fit.
until next time,
Until then.
peace out.